School is like Marmite. You either love it or you hate it.
Whatever your memories are of school, they last forever.
Buildings can trigger long-lasting memories. Our school days are special, and every classroom holds millions of stories.
Due to the protection of Stamford, the buildings that hold our memories are conserved. These are some of the memories that are cemented in the walls of our schools.
Were those attached to monasteries?
Money from the town paid for the earliest blue coat school in the early 18th century. Boys had to wear blue coats. They joined at 10 and left at 14 years of age.
A national school was built in Wharf Road in 1815. It was taken over by the church and became St George's School.
In 1849, St Michael's opened on the Recreation Road. One was for boys and the other one was for girls. St Michael's were closed in 1960.
In 1934, a school for infants and senior girls was built behind Alexandra Terrace. This was called the Fane School.
The 1944 Education Act developed facilities in the town further.
In 1960, Exeter School was opened by Her Royal Highness Princess Margaret. This was a comprehensive school offering A-levels for boys and girls.
In 1987, the Fane School and Exeter School amalgamated into Queen Anna.
In 2014, Stamford Welland Academy was born.
The St John's School amalgamated much later with All Saints Girls' School. I mean, I don't know whether you know all this, but All Saints Girls' School, which was in Austin Street, and became the St Gilbert of Sempingham School.
And taught in Woolwich, I thought, oh, what a horrible place this is. But I love it now. I've enjoyed being here for many, many years. I really have enjoyed it. I loved it when I was at the Fane. I came, as I say, in 56. I taught A-level maths.
I had St John's School I started, had 3 years there. Then I think I said I went down to St George's for a year, sort of more as a temporary measure, I think. And then I went to All Saints School, girls' school, which was in Austin Street. Again, that's turned into flats now. And then I went to the high school. I was at the high school for 5 years before I started work.
Well, I told you I went to the Fane School for 2 years. Then I went to the Blue Coat for, 3 or 4 years. And then, of course, in those days it was a scholarship. Fane School doesn't, because that was knocked down for a housing estate.
Right, I started school at the Blue Coat School, which was down at the bottom of the recreation ground. It was originally called St Michael's School, but they changed it to the Blue Coat. So it was a really old, well, you would class it as a really old-fashioned building, but to me it was a really big building when I first went to primary school. We used to have to wear white shirts, blue and red striped ties. The girls I used to have a little beret. We used to have berets, and the boys used to have little caps, if I remember correctly. Stamford was a small, sleepy town then, when I was younger. So I think everybody knew everybody. I think it was nice environment for everybody. You know, you knew who everybody was. Primary school for me was quite a happy time. We used to have to sit what was called an 11 plus scholarship. So then you set an exam when you was in your final year of primary school. That was a big challenge, because if you was very clever and you passed, you went to either the boys' school or the girls' school. If you didn't, you then went to either the Fane School, which was sort of this end of town, or if you lived the other end of town, you went to the Exeter School. I went to the Fane School, and again was an oldish building that isn't there now anymore. Right. Secondary school uniform was basically a navy blue skirt, white blouse, and the Fane School tie, if I remember, was a blue and green stripe.
Moved on at 11, your year 7, to the Exeter School, which was the school that amalgamated to form Stamford Queen Eleanor, and then where we are now, Stamford Welland Academy. I liked coming and learning on a school bus where we had the two different schools, the Fane School and the Exeter School, together, and there was a lot of rivalry. My favourite subjects were art,